Happy Saturday, tip of the week, stretching and warming up before exercise. Big question we get. I picked these questions because they are actually hot questions in the last week or two that we're going to be using for these tips. It's a lot I get when I'm covering my events or in the clinic. So we prescribe a lot of exercise. We train a lot of athletes, whether they're newbies or they're weekend warriors or elite athletes. So the short answer to the question is yes, and I'll tell you why. If you look in the literature, majority may say it's beneficial, and there are some references that say maybe it's not as beneficial or maybe even harmful. So the number one tip I would say is consult with your healthcare provider and your physician. And that's because we all have maybe certain medical conditions like arthritis, maybe soft tissue issues, cardiovascular issues that may request and require a warm-up. And that gets me to my analogy. I always use analogies in clinic. So here's a sponge. Let's do the sponge first. The sponge is literally like, think of the heart as a sponge with cavities, all right? And it's a muscle. It's got atrium, and two ventricles. And when you start exercising, it's squeezing, going to the rest of the body. That blood's going out. Blood has hemoglobin, which is attached to red blood cell. That's what's being delivered to your tissues and your cells, which helps make energy and the mitochondria in our cells. So that has to it's revved up. It's sort of like an engine in your car that's got to get going and moving. You can't just turn it on rapidly and go into 5 RPMs. So warming up is important, all right? So what I always say is, best thing to do is you can walk before you exercise, you go on elliptical, you can do a nice light jog, get blood flow throughout the body so it's less strain on the heart. Being that too, in the summer here, especially in Arizona, make sure you're hydrated well. So, because remember, plasma is made up of a lot of water, and we need that to help as a delivery system for the hemoglobin. So you're looking at that like the sponge. The other thing is our vessels are very much elastic like a garden hose. Now you wouldn't turn the garden hose really hard, and you may do that, and the hose may not be ready for that pliability. But as that water goes, all right, this rubbery wall starts to expand, just like our blood vessels. So as you start exercising, our blood vessels start to relax, and they actually will dilate. It's almost like a garden hose. So the warm up is important because it's going to help to really take the ease off of the cardiovascular system. So that's number one. What else happens when you exercise? Well, our tissues, our ligaments, our muscles all have collagen in them, just like the collagen you have here and as well as in our joints. That has some pliability to it. Again, it's got a little give as well. So as you start to exercise, your blood flow is going to those muscles and soft tissue and ligaments and tendons, and it's getting that pliability back. So take home points I would say is try to do a little bit of a warm up before you exercise. You can do it from stretching, whether it's basic quadricep, hamstring stretching, groin stretching, stretching out your abs, your back, your arms. Just get the blood flow moving. Get each of those tissues kind of pliable. Doing a light cardiovascular workup is nice, even for a few minutes. And like I said, once you get that going, the next part that needs to be accomplished is an exercise session that gets you into a gradated approach. So that first step of exercise shouldn't be going out and starting your interval training. I would have a 5-minute workout, whether it's run, bike, swim, even weight training, doing nice and easy. A good trainer will do that. Once you have your session, 20, 30, 60-minute session, a cool down should ensue to allow you, because then you have all this blood in the muscles that needs to get back to the central circulation. So you can do a light cardiovascular, right? We see this at all of our events, whether it's triathlon or marathon races, all right? You don't stop at the finish line, you keep walking through to get the blood flow. We see a lot of people lightheaded and dizzy, and they wanna pass out because they don't have that blood coming back to the central circulation. So I hope that helps. Be happy to entertain more and ask more. If you have questions, call the office. Would love to take care of all your questions. Have a great weekend.